I'm Pastor Dan again, and we're doing Spotlight. Thank you for being with us. And I just love talking about the Sabbath. We're in a month on the Sabbath. We may even go a couple months. We just love it. If I can get you to get your heart and soul around it and catch the spirit of the Sabbath again, I'll be glad. Even though there's many Sabbaths that I work really hard. Even though I'm retired this last Sabbath, I think I preached 3 times. And I love all of it. And I love being with the people. And I get to go eat dinner with beautiful people. The Sabbath is such a gift and a blessing. I'll take another little shot at it that maybe some of you have not thought about. The word means rest. You know that. Shabbat, rest. So the Sabbath is like what we call a sacrament. God has this way of taking things that are part of our known world, and he infuses them with some spiritual reality and a spiritual meaning. Because it's all we have. We don't have God himself. We can get our hands on him. We can't see him or hear him. We only have what we've been called analogies or metaphors or sacraments. And so to make spiritual realities real, Jesus can point and say, God is like a sower and seed and a farm or whatever other metaphors. And then we have these sacraments where he takes some bread that looks something like skin and he says, this is my body broken for you. Well, that bread doesn't become Jesus. We're not that far with it. It's a sacrament. And the sacrament helps us. As we take that, our minds go back to the body of Jesus that died for us. The grape juice looks like blood. And it goes, you get the idea. And then we have the sacrament of the Sabbath, which is, of course, time. And God says, take this time that I've given to you, that you only have so much of. You've got this life, and I've got less of it now than I did. And I want you to give me and us this much time. And that day is for rest. Rest. He didn't have to do it. He could have said, you can do this work. He said, no, I want you to rest. And that sacrament is to give us this idea that we stop doing everything else so that we rest, so that we can be with God. And the parallel, of course, is that we stop doing everything of ourselves to be saved. We don't work our way to heaven. We don't get points. We don't earn merit. We don't climb our ladders. We don't build up a resume of things that we've accomplished and done well for God. God, look at this vitae that I have. We stop all that and we rest in Jesus, what he's done. And the Sabbath, we rest physically from all these things. We stop, and that rest helps us remember that we're resting in Jesus for our salvation. And Hebrews 4 ties all that together. And of course, Jesus says, come unto me, I will give you rest. The people who have no rest at the end of the world in Revelation, or the smoke goes up day and night, they have no rest because they're not with Jesus. If you want to have rest, you need Jesus. And the Sabbath is a day to know Jesus. You see how it all ties together. The sacrament not only symbolizes it, but it helps you experience the rest in Jesus. Because you have to stop working. You have to trust that God will help you pass that test without studying on the 7th day. You have to trust that God will help you pay your bills even if you don't work. On the 7th day, you rest and trust God. And we stop doing our works for salvation and we trust Jesus who died for us. It all ties together. So I just encourage you to enjoy this sacramental idea of the Sabbath. God is not trying to be difficult to say, you can't do this, can't do that. He wants us to catch this thing of rest. I went to, our nephew was going to Loma Linda Medical School, And we went to what they call the white coat ceremony. And I'll never forget it. It was very meaningful, and our nephew went up and he got his white coat. Now he's a young resident. But the young doctor, he was maybe 10 or 12 years in as a doctor now. One of the superstars from residency and medical school before. Now he's an attending physician, and he's a rising star. And I'll never forget, out of his 12 minutes, he said, I never took a single Sabbath to study for my medical school. It's tempting. But he says, God blessed me. I just Friday night, I stopped all the way to Sabbath. I rested. And I trusted God to make up a difference for me. And the 6 days that I had left, God blessed me. And I'm a doctor, and God has done some very nice things. We rest in Jesus. May you rest in the Sabbath, I pray. Thank you for watching Spotlight. We're so excited about this. We hope that you'll subscribe, and so you'll get all of them. And please just forward it on to others and tell other people about it. And let's just see what kind of an audience we can get for these messages of Spotlight. God bless you.